So this is an impromptu video note about NOAA's Chartmakers services that came up just by accident just a while ago in the discussions here, and that relates to a chart correction that we pointed out to them and they fixed. And I want to illustrate that and give you the actual timeline. So this is a chart up in the Strait of Juan de Fuca near Protection Island is right down here. Whoops, that's on Protection Island, somewhere there. And so we're working in this region, and we're looking at tides and currents. And so first of all, let me show you. I'm going to go to a different part of the chart, which I've saved, this area here. And you see these are the way current stations show up on an ENC chart. And you see here's this arrow like this, and this arrow is like that, and this has the feathers. And we all know, if you've been through a star path course, you all know that the flood has the feathers. So these are the flood currents here, and these are the ebb currents. And if you right-click this and say Vector Chart Elements, you'll see it's a tide and stream, and it'll be what kind of stream? It's an ebb stream. And then likewise, if you check this guy over here, he will be, wait a minute, I moved him off the ticker. He's a flood stream. So that all works as expected. So that's what it looks like. So now let me go back with the F10. Let me go back to where we were. I just using some, this program QTVLM has a way to save displays and bounce back and forth. Okay, so here we are. So let's say we're in this part of the region. Now I want to look at that here. So here's something I can do. I can go in here and make this search. I want to search in this area for any place there's a tide and current station. So I do Command F here. I'm on a Mac. And then display chart, that's okay. And I want to look, and these are the ENC objects, and you don't know what these are unless we have a big index of these in our book on ENC charts. And but here it is, tidal streams, flood and ebb. And then I could do more details, but let me just look at that once. Okay, so there's 3 of them in that box. So I double click that one. That's one of them right there. And then let's see, here's another one. Okay, let me stop so I can find them all. But here's the thing that struck us when we first saw that. Look at that. These are both ebbs. There's something wrong here. This is, if I right-click this guy and ask for vector chart elements, it kind of, I missed it. You got to get it at the right part of the arrow. Why am I not getting that as a... Well, let me try again. Right-click here and get the chart, vector chart elements. It was here, down here. Okay, so flood ebb, it's an ebb, right? So if I drag over here and grab this guy, you see he's an ebb too. So that is frankly a charting mistake. And if you look at each of those we saw, they're both marked as ebbs. Okay, so we discovered that, and I discovered that on July the 15th, and on July 15th I wrote a note to NOAA, the department that makes ENCs. They wrote back to me on July 16th. This is now an illustration of the value of these charts and the good work that's being done by the folks making these charts. So I wrote to them 7:15. Here's what looks like a mistake to me, and 7:16 they wrote back. They checked this. They said yes, indeed, and then they pointed out something even more interesting. That strangely enough, it was just this part of the world on 2 charts where these seven stations were missing that, and they said they will fix that and put it in the next update. And now I actually didn't, at that point I said, thanks you, that's great. And then I didn't look again. Today we looked and saw that it was fixed. I think I'm going to show you that. But then I had to go back and look, when was that updated? And there's a page you can go on their site and look at that. 7/16 is apparently when they issued the correction, and it came out on the 19th. It looks like it was on the 19th. So now if I go up here, let me just, okay, wait just a minute. Let me go up here to folders and then get rid of that one. And here's the new chart and say okay and okay. And now there's a new chart, and you see now they got the feathers. If I right-click that, vector chart elements, tidal stream, it's a flood, and the other one's an ebb. Flood has the feathers. Okay, so that's the end of the story. Oh, no, there's a little bit more to the story I want to add, maybe for the chart makers to look at. If I look at this chart information, it tells me it's edition 20. Now, and I don't want to load the chart again, but I'm going to just tell you that this display of the chart information, this is actually the second edition, obviously. This is fixed. But this display here on edition just says 20, and the update date is still the old original date. The old original date of this one here. And this is the second update, and the other one we were looking at is first update. So we're going to be back on the email, back to NOAA to ask them, why does this edition, why don't we get an update date that reflects what they say is the actual update? So anyway, that's the message. It's a very nice news that if you see an error, they also have if you go to their site, they have a very nice place to report an error. Very easy to do. You click what chart it is, what the message is. You can send pictures. It's all quite good. I'll put that link in the video description. But that's the end of this impromptu report.